Okay, so Artisans has 3 worlds, and I think that's the case for most of the levels, if not all of the levels. There are 3 levels throughout, a flying level, which I will show you now, and a boss level. I normally like to do it in order with the 3 levels, then the flight level, then the boss. Now, you really don't get a tip on this until much, much later. But through trial and error, I never even knew about this. I just did it randomly one day. So if you jump on these stones once each, it opens a secret passageway that leads to the flying level. I just got an achievement for that. Okay, now I think there's a skill point if you do it just in... No, wait. I know where it is. Never mind. So, flight levels. How this works is a time trial. You have a certain amount of time to do certain objectives. I'm going to show you the fastest way that I found out when I was a kid of how to do all of this. Also, I will warn you, Spyro is inverted in this mode. I love how he does that little gesture whenever, that little roll in midair whenever you complete whatever objective you were doing. So yeah, as you can see as I'm flying through these, they say +3. That's how much extra time you get. Also, I know there's going to be a reference, because I'm flying through rings to ultimately do nothing. Okay, so tip I have for you here. Do not finish the arches. Just get this one and start torching the planes. That saves you a lot of time and a lot of headaches if you just go for the planes immediately. And then finish off the arches. And that's how you do it. Alright. And as you can see, it's divided. You get 60 gems for completing each one, then you get a bonus for doing it all at once. And that's how you get the treasure for these levels. Now, there is a skill point. Well, I don't know if it's a skill point, it's an achievement, I think. Where you have to go through these archways. And try not to give Spyro a concussion at the same time. So, you press R1 to loop around these bridges. And then that's how you get the achievement, but I gotta be able to actually do this. I seem to be getting the height wrong. Yeah, I seem to be getting the height wrong when I'm doing this. Also, I will be alluding more to R1, L1 because this game series was originally on the PS1. Because Spyro was originally going to be like one of Sony's mascots. But here's the problem. As time goes on, you eventually lose your mascots. That's why Nintendo had success, because they had several. It wasn't just Mario. They had Link, they had Kirby, they had all sorts of extra mascots. Whereas Sony always had Nintendo. Sony always had Nintendo. Sony had Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. And because of that, fatigue started setting in because they were the same games over and over. So So you're supposed to do this twice. But, as you can see, I'm very bad at it. Oh, if you hit the water, you just lose the level immediately. It counts as crashing. Now, the original used to be cruel. If you crashed, you lost a life. Yeah. The original was that cruel. Okay, so I guess that's not in this version, but yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Okie dokie. Now, next I like to do the boss level. So, the boss levels are completely optional. You don't have to do them. All you had to do was rescue 10 dragons. By the way, this guy says something else. So I actually recommend you replay him.
Cool flash. Do that again.
The artisan's boss is through a portal behind me. You can challenge him now, if you feel you are ready.
Yes, they change his dialogue just because you finally finished one of the artisan worlds. Toasty, the first boss of the game. Is there a skill point for it? No, there isn't. Okay. So, skill points for bosses can be kind of cruel, where you have to take no damage. Easier said than done in this level. You'll see what I mean. It's those dogs. Fortunately, these guys never appear in any other level, but they take 2 hits. You have to torch them twice. The first time, the hitboxes are weird too, on you. You have to get out of the way immediately. And then some of the placements are kind of jerkish, like here. Also, them looking like sheepdogs makes more sense. In the original, they looked like wolves. Which, well, you know, limitations. But them looking like sheepdogs makes way more sense. Considering you're fighting these shepherd enemies. I would have loved for this level to have been cruel, though. You have to beat it perfectly. Also, yes, the artisan boss realm, I guess, is like where they rule. That's my theory on all of the boss realms. This is where the kingdom that you're saving actually rules from. Because why would all their artwork be put on display? Also, I will warn you, one thing that's cruel about these dogs. There's one here that will almost always get you. And that's him. The other thing is, there is no fodder in this level. So if you get hurt, you do not recover any health. Just bear that in mind.
has put one of his most devious henchmen in charge of the artisan world.
Bring him on. I think I smell a barbecue.
Be careful, Spyro. Toasty has many tricks up his sleeve.
I love how they even called it a boss in the original. He just says, "This boss has many tricks up his sleeve." So, this is the boss. He seems kind of passive. What was that? It was just a sheep on stilts this whole time. I have heard that Toasty here is a result of Spyro getting, of the sheep, that sheep in particular, getting annoyed with Spyro harassing sheep. It's where the bull lead becomes the bully. Okie dokie. So that finishes the first world. Very short. So on to the next one.
Wow! I see you've been busy rescuing dragons, Spyro. You may travel to the Peacekeeper's world if you like. Are you ready to go?
And then you jump on his head onto his balloon, and he doesn't pilot it. So how does that work? I guess there is only room for one in it, but again, how does that work? Also, I don't know why it's spinning, I'm sorry. Anyway, Peacekeepers. These guys are apparently the military of the Dragon World.
Welcome to Peacekeepers. Look how our treasure has been stolen and turned against us. Please, recover our treasure, Spyro.
Collect treasure. Got it.
And supposedly the first dragon you run into is the leader of that particular nation. So, these guys aren't as funny as they were in the original. These guys are, though, the Cannoneers. After you attack them, they salute and then fall over. I find that funny. Oh, it's war you want, huh? Okay. Dry Canyon, that's another world. After you defeat that guy, the other guys hide, and this is actually funny. When you look at them, they're scared, but when you turn your back to them, they moon you. Yes, I am not joking. It's actually funny that they do. Also, I think there's a skill point for it, torching all the tents. Alright. Now blast our way through. Yes, I was trying to attack the dragon. Didn't work. And then those chests are reinforced, so you have to blow them open. And that's one way to beat those chests. An extra life. Thank you very much. Not that I need any more.
Hey, Spyro. Sparks the Dragonfly has been doing a good job protecting you. Make sure to keep him strong by feeding him lots of butterfly.
Alright, big boy. Sound device. Yeah, there's a bit of a bug there. That gem has always been bugged in these versions of the game.
The Magic Crafter's world is far away and very dangerous. Maybe if you find 1,200 stolen treasure, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, that's one thing that's kind of funny I want to point out. The fact that apparently Nasty, after crystallizing all the dragons, somehow found the time to attempt to steal all the treasure. Yeah, that's how those chests work. You attack it, then the gem hops up, then you got collected before it goes back down. Sadly, those chests never appear in another game. Because they're not a bad idea. Because it gives you an idea of, hey, these are cut gems. Always forget these two. Hey, an egg thief. Ha!
Well done, Spyro. Keep up the good work, and I know you'll fulfill your destiny.
Destiny? I just want to kick some.
Just toast those enemies and collect the treasure.
Alright. And there's, honestly, I found this secret accidentally. I was like, can I actually make that? It's not much of a secret. But I was like, why is there a key and where's the chest? That bothered me for so long. Now, normally I do not make this. Hey! First time for everything. Okay, now these levels can be kind of ridiculous. If you're wanting to collect everything. But the game stops playing around with you once you get to the... I would debatably say the fourth world, because this game's not particularly difficult. The first three worlds, I mean, there are some spikes in the next world, but this one's not too bad. So, in the original, you used to be able to torch this chest, and the lid would pop up and attack that guy. You can't do that in this version because it doesn't go that far. But it was hilarious. How weird the trajectory was back then. So 500 gems, 1 dragon egg, and I think 3 dragons? No, 4 dragons. And there's one in this level that's particularly difficult to find. I never understood how to get to this dragon until YouTube first became a thing. It was always creeping up in the back of my mind for all these years. I take that back, actually. There are... Thanks! Yeah, sometimes you can do that. You can trick them to hurt their own allies or open chests for you.
Oh. Thank you for releasing me, Spyro.
And yeah, he just said thank you for releasing me, but at least he changed it up a bit. That's animal cruelty. Come on now. Not the vultures so much, but just what those Norks do to attack you. Ow. Jerk. Okay, so, for the longest time, this was always so tantalizing to me. The key to the chest in the level and a dragon that I could never seem to get to. And they taunt you with it at the end of the level. It kind of looks like you can make that, but don't try it, you can't. So I kept racking my brain about how to do it, and then eventually once YouTube started becoming a thing, I saw a guide on how to do it.
Dry Canyon rewards good gliders. You are a good glider, eh, Spyro?
I was born to glide.
That guy had a rattle tail. So what you're supposed to do is glide here. And then from here, you glide and hug this wall right here, and that's how you get it. I could never figure that out.
Incredible glide, Spyro. I thought I'd be stuck here forever with those ugly vultures standing on my head. Those birds might look tough, but they're pretty tasty. Flame broiled with a pinch of salt.
If you say so. That probably tastes like chicken. Wow, that was just awful. Alright. So yeah, that is how you recover health if you ever take any hits. Oh, that would have been beautiful, but nope. That's not how that works. Eee!
Is that you, Spyro? Are you the young dragon I've been hearing so much about? Ever since you were a wee puff of smoke, we've known,
You've known...
I forget.
It never gets easier, buddy. I can say that with experience, unfortunately. being old and forgetful. I've gotten to the point where I will forget why I even went into a room in the first place. So yeah, the chests that you get the extra lives in, I guess they're supposed to be mimics, but... Well, what just happened? One moment. That was strange. Okay. It's probably a setting that I don't know about. I'm going to have to look more into it. Probably let it go idle for too long. Since I'm not actively clicking on it, maybe I'll have to figure that out in post. Nope. First death, folks. First death. Yes. In lower, I will warn you, in some lower versions of this game, yeah, there's a loading screen to recover from dying. It's very cruel. This is what I mean by the controls are kind of wonky compared to the original, because I could make that very easily in the original, but sometimes that just happens. I still have my original copy of these games. I didn't own Spyro 3 until recently, though, because I was that, I practically owned a toaster when I was younger, let me put it that way. Nothing compared to what I have now. Okay, my bad. There's 400 gems in this level. I thought there were 5. Oh well. So, that's the level. But, my disc was so messed up for Spyro 1 that the music doesn't even play in this level. The level works, it just didn't play any music. And that's all the time we have. So until next time, Ryunokage33 signing off. And yeah, that is true. I have a very old and damaged PlayStation 1 version of the original Spyro the Dragon.